Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Friends, movie lovers, gather around. We're here today to mourn the loss of a very good friend. In 1989, Patrick Swayze came out with Roadhouse, a movie that was over the top with its throat-ripping and spin kicks. In 2024, we get a franchise reboot starring Jake Gyllenhaal with the same name. And to sum it up in very articulate words, this movie was a fucking abomination. I hated this movie from the sound of go. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's back it up here. For those who have been living under a rock and have not seen any of the promotional footage for this movie, Doug Liman of the Bourne Identity fame thought it would be a good idea and actually got his seal of approval saying that this is one of his best movies he's ever done. Doug, I hate to break the news to you, pal. I think you bumped your head on set. I got no enjoyment out of this movie at all. So for those who don't know, 2024's Roadhouse is about an ex-UFC fighter named Dalton who's down in his luck. He gets a job at a roadhouse down in the Florida Keys and everything's not as it seems. Yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. This movie was so stale and so boring. I can't believe there are contemporaries on this platform that are saying that this was a good movie. I must have gotten a different cut, because what I watched was so stale and so boring. It has me choking. The dialogue in this movie was abysmal. I would say it sounded like AI wrote it. That'd be disrespecting AI. I genuinely thought that they accidentally left some of the actors' outtakes in this film. It was that bad. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm going to write The Godfather for a script by any means, but this was a movie that was getting so much hype and has some great minds behind it. You would think that they would have at least some effort. Jake Gyllenhaal was really great in this movie. Now, one takeaway I can say is he had 100% dedication. If you see his physical side of it, if you see his acting side, he gives a great performance. That's it. That is it. Everything else, even the fight scenes. How do you get the fight scenes wrong in a Roadhouse movie? They're all done with this special kind of CGI editing, and it looks so sloppy and looks so fake. Conor McGregor's in this movie, and I'm a big Conor McGregor fan. He plays the heavy of the movie, a character named Knox, and he's really just one note throughout the whole movie. You really don't know about his backstory. You don't know what's driving him. And those questions just are left unanswered. Like a lot of stuff in this movie. You have jokes in this movie that go nowhere. You have plot points that go nowhere. Characters get introduced in the third act and you're like, okay. Some of the sequences that happens, spoiler alert, if you want to skip to the end of this movie, I don't recommend it. I wouldn't watch it if I was you. If you had 2 hours of your time, you could literally go do your taxes, and I think it'd probably be a better time. There is a part where Dalton, Jake Gyllenhaal's character, gets hit by a truck probably going at least 50 miles an hour and bounces off the hood of the truck, and then is staggering and gets up and then is hit by the truck again going in reverse and is sent off a bridge. He's fine. He's fine. Has a couple scratches, a couple bruises, and he has a little bit of a limp. But then he goes into another action scene. It's like, what? Like, this is some Tom and Jerry type shit that you're watching here. I was just baffled throughout the whole movie. The characters, they feel so one-dimensional and so flat that you could probably replace half the cast of this movie with 2x4s and it would probably be more entertaining. I wasn't too excited about this movie. I was definitely going to check it out. I don't know why Amazon had the idea of just putting it out on streaming and not doing a theatrical run, but like everything else in this movie, it makes absolutely no sense. Mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. I'm not expecting Schindler's List out of this. I know people are saying, oh, well, it's fun for what it is. It's campy and it's... Okay, there's a difference between camp and knowing a movie is going to be cheesy and actually producing a good film. There are so many misfires in this film. And like I said, Doug Liman saying that this is one of his best films he's ever done, he needs to get checked out. I think he got hit with a kick in this movie. If you're a Gyllenhaal fan like me, you'll find his performance very good, but other than that, skip this movie. Skip this movie at all costs. Go watch the original Roadhouse. It's so much more fun. That is a campy action movie done right. There is so much more soul in that movie. There's so much more texture in that movie. This movie is boring. The villain in this movie is so one-dimensional. Stop me if you've heard that one before. When you're introduced to him, you're like, really? Is this a joke? It seems like a parody. Like you'd see something in like the Airplane movie. And shots just linger on for so long, and you're like, is this going somewhere, or is it gonna... Yeah, it's just gonna end with no explanation behind it, and they're never gonna revisit it. Fuck this movie. Fuck this movie. Well, that's my review of 2024's Roadhouse. Amazon, you should be ashamed of yourself. Jake Gyllenhaal, you get a pass for this movie. You did pretty good. Conor McGregor, you're making so much money, buddy. Your acting debut, a little rocky, not gonna lie, a little rocky. If you somehow see this, please don't kick my ass. I still love you. If you want to get drunk with your buddies and pick apart a movie, that's what I'll recommend this movie for. Other than that, it gets a 1 out of 5. Very let down. Very let down. But it's safe to say our next time around, we're going to watch a better movie. I could film my paint drying on the wall. It'd probably be a better movie. But until then, I love you all. I'd appreciate if you'd like, maybe comment, and if you're feeling generous, because I had to sit through this grueling movie, you might leave me a subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this movie down below. I love you, and I'll see you next time.